The Central Bank of Nigeria is assuring Nigerians that they will not lose their money even after the February 10 deadline to submit old notes. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele appeared before the House of Representatives ad hoc committee, and a RISE correspondent Tuji Olanikbekun compiled this report.
After his inability to appear before the House of Representatives on 2 different occasions, the Central Bank Governor, Godwin Emefiele, is finally here to honor summons by the lawmakers. The agenda of this meeting is simple: scarcity of the newly redesigned Naira notes and how to ensure that Nigerians do not lose their old Naira notes. The CBN Governor was emphatic that the February 10th deadline stands, but Nigerians can still take their old notes to the banks even after the deadline. Only that the old notes will no longer be legal tender after the deadline.
You have your money that you have not been able to send into the bank. We certainly will give you the opportunity to bring them back into the CBN and redeem it. Either you pay it in your bank account or you want to do exchange, we give you. You will not lose your money. That is the assurance I give to Nigeria.
Emefiele says the currency redesign policy had so far recorded about 75% success in mopping up loose cash within the economy, stressing that many rural and underserved locations across the country have had the opportunity of swapping their old banknotes for new ones. The CBN boss says about 2 trillion naira had so far been collected since the commencement of the exercise. When pressed on the scarcity of the new note, he blamed commercial banks for violating the guidelines issued by the Apex Bank for the distribution of the new currency.
We held several meetings with the deposit money banks and provided them with guidance notes on processes they must adopt in the collection of old notes and the distribution of new notes. Unfortunately, and indeed, I addressed the bankers on Sunday, and I expressed to them my disappointment about the way this has gone on, because many of us have unfortunately seen the new Naira, instead of being used for the purpose it is meant, the new Naira is being used in parties, in celebrations, which means that they had breached certain aspects of the guidance notes we gave to them.
The policy is a government policy being carried out by a component of Nigerian government. The institution here also is a component of the government, in fact an arm of government. So this is of course a welcome submission, it is a welcome answer, but unfortunately at a belated point. If you had earlier come, submitted this thing, of course that's the point. The crisis would not have come up at all. Nigerians would have gone home to sleep.
My only worries is the fact that when this policy came up, there was this expectation that this policy is going to help strengthen our Naira against the dollars. But today, as at today, from my observation, I think the dollar is even higher than what it was before the policy came on board.
When are you opening across-the-counter business transaction in Nigeria? Because we are suffering. Everywhere we are suffering.
We are doing this for the good of Nigerians. We are doing this so the Nigerian economy can be better than it is today.
Chairman of the House Special Ad Hoc Committee, Ado Doguwa, expressed the support of the House of Representatives for the cashless policy of the bank, stressing that the House would assist the CBN in achieving its mandate.
Well, specialist in public budgeting, Emeka Ejikonye, joins us now for more on the CBN and Emefiele's appearance at the House of Representatives today. Thank you so much for joining us on the news tonight.
Thank you very much for having me, and congratulations on your 10th year anniversary.
Thank you so much. So, after failing to appear twice, the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, eventually appeared today before the ad hoc committee, the House of Reps on Finance and Banking. He not only appeared, he apologized for not making it the 2 previous times. What did you make of that meeting, that hearing today? Did you hear anything concrete?
Yeah, I did. And given the video by the president, the release by the CBN governor after he met with the president in Daura, and today's meeting, there's just one bottom line. The deadline is 10th of February from that day, after that day, you cannot exchange the Naira outside in our Nigerian society. The only way the old Naira note can come, anybody can see it, is going back from the individual straight to the bank. And that is the CBN. The only slight issue I had was in the release by the CBN after the meeting with the president. He was specific that it is only the Central Bank of Nigeria that will accept the old notes after the 10th.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. But there seems to be a little, I didn't understand.
Well, I think he stated expressly, and even
the commercial banks can also,
that they will give the guidelines, you know, and the demand from those who will be bringing after on the 10th,
yes.
right? So we're clear about that. But I think what is most important here is that a window of the opportunity has been expanded beyond the 10 days. And what have you? In some West African countries, the Naira is a legal tender. That I can say from in Freetown, Sierra Leone, for example. And I just wonder how such persons can really mop up the Naira and meet this deadline.
You see, you seem to be talking as if this thing just started today. This, according to the president, has been on for about 3 months.
Since October.
They've given us this ample opportunity to have moved this money in. Even though, yeah, you are talking about when did the new Naira notes come into circulation, which is another issue. Yeah, maybe less than a month.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but I'm saying that some of us, average Nigerians, we don't have issues with these things.
Yeah, because we don't have that kind of gargantuan
yes, it is only the Nigerians who have this. Yes.
But one of the reasons the CBN gave, you know, in introducing the new redesigned Naira notes and mopping the old ones, apart from the issue of illicit funds in circulation and how to prevent, whether we like it or not, money politics in the system, is that it will help in strengthening the Naira. But that's not what we're seeing now. It's like, you know.
Are you sure?
For
me, it has been.
You are the expert.
For me, even before this, the introduction, the Naira was almost exchanging at almost 800 Naira to $1. The last time I heard it was 740. So it's been steady. It's been steady there. That's just the truth. In as much as I know, for me, there's no way plain fiscal policy can be the only instrument for strengthening the Naira. You have to talk about the productive element of your economy. Yes. So, if on the area of monetary policy management, I believe the Naira has been steady for some time now.
Okay.
Yes.
Today is January 31st.
Yes.
It should have been the initial deadline.
Yes.
But when a drive across town today showed chaos, not only at the banks, but even at the ATMs where people are supposed to be getting the new Naira notes from. I had a personal experience. I bought petrol today and I couldn't pay because the POS was not working. The fuel attendants I didn't have the new notes. I didn't have the old notes. I was not ready to join the queues at the bank. Do you foresee a further extension? That's one of this deadline. Two, would you also say confidently that the CBN is on course to achieving some of this, laudable ideas it set out to achieve? And I'm asking you because even the CBN is admitting that the commercial banks have derailed from the initial plans. We now see people spraying wads of money in parties while Nigerians cannot get them at the ATMs.
Yes. So
we don't know how much people have in their hands.
Yes. You see, the issue is the CBN, if you read between the lines, you will know that the CBN had released money. But rather than push this money to the Nigerian society, some unscrupulous elements had other intentions. That is why you don't see them through the ATM, but you saw them at parties. We don't know how many have gone into the GP tanks. Again, we don't. So that really is not for me, it's not an issue for the CBN. It is being able to checkmate the bank officials.
Are they doing enough of that?
Well, that has to do between the governor of the CBN and the security agencies. He has assured us that he's going to do something. He's doing something about the EFCC and the ICPC and all that. But we hope that it's not just talk, that actually they will walk that talk. That for me. Because I don't believe, personally, I strongly believe that the CBN released so much money, but unguarded. The bank officials, probably rather than pushing this money through the ATMs or exchanging it to customers across the counter, did some clandestine.
And the banks, you know, really the bane of some of the economic woes that Nigeria has been facing.
Unfortunately.
Is that not sabotaging the entire, you know, economy?
Policy.
And then you may want to ask, where is ICPC, the corruption agency? Yes, EFCC and the Directorate of State Security or Service, they've been up and doing in arresting. If you still go to you still find the clandestine dealers in the new currencies. But you wonder, ICPC cannot go after them just like the DSS and others are doing?
You know, we have it. There, somebody said somewhere that may Nigeria not happen to you. We are all Nigerians. We know what's happening in our country. Let's not pretend as if we don't know what the kind of society we live in. Corruption is highly endemic here. Greed is highly endemic here. So you expect this. But what I'm saying is, what are they going to do to check me? For me, my objective, my interest in this whole thing is that even if they want after March 5th to return this old Naira note, I don't care. But between, if the 40th or the 20th of February till after the governorship election and state, whatever, this Naira note, these old Naira notes must not be allowed to serve as legal tender. That for me is the objective that I am pursuing, that I will want the government or the CBN to achieve for Nigerians, so that at the end of the day, we'll have very free, fair and credible election, and our votes will count. That for me is my objective.
All right, thank you very much, Emeka Ejikonye. Yeah, there's a specialist in public budgeting for coming to shed more light, give fresh perspective to the CBN.
He's all about credible elections.
Oh, well.
and he says the policy is working monetary-wise.
All right.
That's good.
Well, it's all kudos to the CBN.
But I need the cash. I need to be able to pay for my petrol.